Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here I have some coconut palms. Nothing unusual, right? A nice southern boat harbor, blue seas, sun and coconuts. And of course a lot of nice restaurants and souvenir shops. That's how you imagine the tropics, right? But here I'm not in the tropics, I'm in the subtropics. I'm on the Canary Islands. I'm in Puerto de Mogan on the island of Gran Canaria. And a couple years ago there was a discussion on a tropical fruit forum whether coconuts can grow, I think in Madeira or the Azores, some of the Portuguese islands. And then I said, well, on the Spanish Canary Islands they grow pretty well. And then some people didn't believe that. So that's why I'm taking the video now. As I said, I'm in Puerto de Mogan on Gran Canaria, and there are coconut trees everywhere. And even then I told them I have harvested coconuts on the islands of Gran Canaria, Tenerife, La Palma, Lanzarote, Fuerteventura, and some people did not believe me. Well, however, if you look at those coconuts, a lot of them are pretty stunned. Look at them, they even look kind of shriveled up. Most trees here will have coconuts like that. I don't know why this is the case. Here they look a little bit better, but are still not perfect. Not how they are supposed to be. And here the same. And this is quite typical for the Canary Islands, because half of my coconut hunting adventures went wrong. Not because I didn't get the coconuts, but because when I got the coconuts, even a lot of those which look big and nice and plump don't have much stuff inside. I mean, here those trees are quite stunned because they grow in those huge pots, which is probably not the perfect way for a coconut tree to grow. But let's go a little bit further and find some which grow in gardens. As you can see, the fruit are very stunned. I've opened such fruit. Usually they will consist just of fibers. Sometimes they will have a bit of hard shell inside. In some cases even a tiny bit of flesh. But usually no coconut water. And such stunned fruit, well, they are quite easy to recognize and quite easy to avoid when you hunt for coconuts on the Canary Islands. So look, here we arrived in an area where the coconut trees actually grow in the soil instead of in pots. And here the coconuts look considerably better. However, even coconuts which look perfect, well, those don't look perfect, they are still a little bit stunned. But especially the coconut on the left of the tree could be quite good. But even if you find nuts which look quite good on Canary Islands coconut trees, a lot of them will be just fibers, or fibers with a hard shell inside, or fibers with a hard shell and traces of flesh, but without juice. Not all, but about, I would say, half of the decent looking coconuts are actually not decent. When you look at those coconuts, you notice there are also different varieties. I don't know exactly what varieties they introduced here to the Canary Islands. Actually, I could check that. There is a big nursery about 2 kilometers away. But when we look at the fruit, fortunately the low trees have no fruit right now. If you look at the fruit, you will recognize, well, you will realize at least that there are different varieties. Look at that here. Big pale yellow fruit on this one. Then we had a couple of small bright yellow which look a lot like Malayan dwarf. Well, this here kind of looks like small bright yellow fruit. This one slightly bigger pale yellow fruit. Oh, here even a small coconut fruit fell to the ground, but this is far too small. No chance to get anything usable out of this fruit. Well, let me show you a couple well-developed looking fruit. Look at those. Really huge green fruit. Really amazing, growing in big bunches. This tree seems to be well nourished. Look, especially the bunch on the right has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, more than 7 coconuts of good size. Here also lots of coconuts on the palm. Well, the next is a date palm. The next one still has lots of coconuts, but the tree and the nuts look quite stunned. This one looks good again. Yeah, but still, even the best looking coconuts, you will have a lot of underdeveloped fruit inside, without water, and sometimes even without flesh, and sometimes even without any hard shell. So folks, here, first the proof, there are coconut trees on the Canary Islands. And then the question, why do most of them have badly developed fruit? This is quite unusual for coconut trees in the tropics, but here on the Canary Islands, it seems to be almost the norm. Why are a lot of the coconuts here on the Canary Islands not well developed inside? Look at those here on the outside. They look great. It's possible that on the inside they will be full of nice tender flesh and delicious coconut water, but it's also possible that at least the water will be missing and maybe even the flesh. So tell me, what is it? Are those climatic reasons? I mean, it cannot be the variety, since they are trying several varieties here. Are those climatic reasons? Are there problems with pollination? There shouldn't be problems with pollination because we have dozens of trees here. What is it? What is the problem with the coconut trees around here? Why do so many of them have no well-developed fruit? I'm sorry that I'm not able to steal and open a coconut fruit for you here. It's not the best occasion for stealing huge coconuts, because the gardeners are right here. If I can, during the next weeks, I will manage to steal some for you, and then we can open them and check out what they look like inside. But please hit me with your suggestions. Why are a lot of those nuts on the Canary Islands not well developed? I am really curious to hear your ideas. Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful island of Gran Canaria. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.